some lads might laugh at it and all the rest of it, but I can tell you what, it is really starting to affect me, because I spend a lot of time with him because I play football with him, I go to the gym with him, I do quite a lot of social things when he's around. So
how well do you know his wife, Ben? This is the crucial issue here. How well do you know your best mate's wife?
Well enough, Mike, for it to really be starting to affect me.
And do you see her quite a lot?
Yeah, and what happened, Mike, was really, and I don't think he realises how close I am to just really blowing my top about all this. He lapsed it off. This is his second affair now in 4 years. The last one only lasted about 7 weeks.
Yeah.
This one's lasted over 6 months.
And is the woman he's seeing married, Ben, or is she single?
The girl he's seen now is younger than her, and I think he feels a bit flattered and all the rest of it. And
but she's not married, though?
No, she's not married. But the problem is, I was walking through town on Saturday, and she was on the other side of the street, and I saw her, and I pretended that I could, because I knew he'd been with this other woman the night before, and he hadn't told me what he was doing or what excuse he'd made, and this sounds really awful.
Yeah.
I actually pretended that she wasn't there.
This is the wife, you mean?
Yeah, this is the wife. Yeah. She called my name 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And eventually I thought, this is just ridiculous. So I turned over and went, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you." And she went, "Oh, you looked at me." And I went, "God, I was miles away."
Yeah.
And she looked into my eyes, and I got a feeling that she thought there was something. She sort of smiled at the end, but there was this doubt, and I was thinking, if she asked me something, and I haven't. If I haven't because I hadn't spoke to my friend, am I going to trip myself up? And the other thing is that I'm now turning into a liar.
Yeah, well, you are. Ben, are you married, Ben?
Yeah, well, I've got a long-term partner.
Yeah, but I mean, is your long-term partner a friend of your mate's wife?
Yeah, sort of. They're not close, but that's not the point. That isn't the point, Mike. I don't agree with The problem is that I feel now that it's like an accessory to murder, if you know what I mean. I feel really guilty. I look at my partner. My partner finds out about this, and she is going to go ballistic, because it's the whole trust thing, and I'm really, 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 I don't know what to do about it. I really don't. And I mean, I've tried to say it over the last 6 weeks or so. I've tried to say it nicely. I've tried to sort of reason with him in a mate type thing, but he thinks I'm just going to keep bailing him, and there's going to come to but I'm now scared, because my partner knew what I was, knew the lengths of you see that I've done. She will go ballistic, and this is my children involved as well, and it's not you're not setting a good example.
Ben,
and really,
you're absolutely right in saying not setting a good example. Ben, thank you very much. Ben from Matton, Derbyshire. Oh, what a tangled web we weave.
Well, you see,
when at first we do deceive, right?
Yes, but of course the problem here is that there are more and more women who don't give a monkey's whether you're married, whether you've got a long-term partner.
Yeah, but hang on,
they're much more predatory now. But hang on, there are loads of women out there who are more than happy to have an affair with a married man or anybody else who's connected with a long-time partner, which never used to be the case, and many men can't turn it down.
That guy Ben has now got to stand up to his mate and say, "I'm not doing it anymore. I feel like I'm really taking part here in the destruction of your marriage, and that's not fair." I tell you what, let's talk to somebody who knows a lot more about this than most of us. That's Rosie Freeman-Jones, and she's the spokeswoman for IllicitEncounters.com. Hello, Rosie.
Hello.
Rosie, thank you for joining us this morning. Now, Rosie, could you explain, please, just exactly what your website is all about? Because I hope, like mad, it's not a platform to start having relationships outside their marriages, which will threaten the sanctity of marriage.
I'm afraid, Mike, we are an extramarital dating agency, and we've been running since 2003. So what we do is create a non-judgmental platform for people in relationships to find other people in relationships. So, essentially, yes.
Well, and presumably it's a booming business, is it, Rosie?
Sorry?
Is it a booming business, Rosie?
It is. We have around 360,000 members in the UK, and we're growing by about 350 a day at the moment. So our last month we had 10,000 new members.
Now, these members, are they permanent members? You've had people there for 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, we've had members since we opened in 2003, like I said, and...
so hang on, how many extramarital relationships do people want? In fact, if you don't mind me saying... platform rather than...
Far from it, Mike, far from it. We're actually more of a kind of relationship-based platform. The majority of people that come to IE are looking for something almost like a bolster in terms of their relationship. They're looking for something which...
I've never heard it called that before.
They've lost an element of their relationship, be it the intimacy or sometimes the sex. I think the most commonly it's a sexual element that's gone. And they've tried various different methods of getting it back, and they've decided, well, you know, if I can substitute this in from somewhere else, then I would do that, you know, in order to save my relationship, as opposed to leaving my family and my husband or my wife behind, and everything that I've worked on over the past X number of years. So most people, that's why they're coming to IE. But in terms of being like a sex-based site, no, we're not, I'm afraid. There are a lot of other websites where you can go out and find someone in minutes.
So are you saying, Rosie, that people are coming to your site not just for sex, but for some form of relationship which they don't have any longer with their wife or husband? And let me ask you this, how many women, percentage-wise, have you got on your books?
It's about 50-50 in terms of online numbers, so that's men and women, it's about 50-50. It's very much not a gender thing anymore. People, men and women are quite happy to pursue affairs now. It used to be something which was generally thought of as being something that a man would do, to take a mistress, but now it's much more common for a woman to take a lover as well.
When you started in 2003 then, Rosie, you're saying that the balance was far more in favour of men members?
I'm not sure if it was then. I think since you know, women are starting to become more empowered in the last 20 years, and I think that's certainly come with it. I think if you would go back to the 50s and the 40s, it would be a lot less likely that women would have been able to do that.
Now, Rosie, I've got to ask you this. Do you not have any conscience at all that you're providing a platform for the destruction of marital relationships?
Well, I will tell you, Mike, that we don't advertise our service. I mean, obviously you guys asked us to do this interview, but generally we don't promote our services to people because we don't think it's something which you should be promoting. What we do is we say, if you're going to do this, don't do it in your workplace, don't do it in your social circle, find someone who's like-minded and keep it as far away from your family as you can, and pursue it like an adult, basically.
Well, it sounds like you don't really need to advertise. You've got 260,000, 300,000 members, and they're all paying about...
Those are 300,000 members who found us.
And they're paying 300 quid each to register with you as well, so...
They're not paying 300 quid each, actually. No, they're paying around 100.
100.
So, but I mean, yes, we are market dating agencies out there. But in terms of numbers, like I said, it's 50-50 men and women. And I think that the important thing to say is that you could obviously, everyone's going to say, well, you know, you can give us the moral stance and you can say what we do is disgusting. And the truth is that we're creating a platform for something that really was already going on. And I think to suggest that the existence of a website would make people more likely to do this, it's not easy to cheat, you know, and it's not something which people do. It's not like buying a television. It's not just a quick kind of, oh yeah, I'm going to sign up to a website and have an affair. It's a very long. It's a process which needs to be deliberate.
Well, I think it's astonishing. And the most likely sort of woman to come to you is a 36-year-old female doctor or senior healthcare professional from somewhere like Surrey. Is that right?
Berkshire's our most popular county.
Berkshire.
But yes, all of the other facts were completely correct.
I see. Berkshire home counties.
You've got a place in Surrey, Mike?
I've got a place in Surrey, actually, yeah, but...
Surrey's in the top 10.
Is it? Don't you
I should point out, before Mike takes the moral high ground, that he's the one that's admitting to having some liaisons or other with married women.
I haven't said that at all. I've just said at my age you don't find many single women about. Rosie, I want to thank you for coming on and talk to us today. You have, you have started a big debate here on TalkSport as to the moral turpitude of what you do, but you've explained yourself very well. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, that was Rosie Freeman-Jones, spokeswoman for illicitencounters.com. This is opening my eyes to things, Mike, that I didn't know were going on. I'll tell you what, coming up next here on TalkSport, news and sports headlines, it's 11:31.